So now let's go down, and we've done the curve, and we come to a panel that I love called the HSL, Hue, Saturation, and Luminance. Oh my gosh, this is such an important panel. So hue is basically the ability to alter a color. Let me show you what I mean. So for example, you see here that we have a bit of red or orange. Okay, if I move this to the left or to the right, actually, let's see here, or this color here. Yeah, check out the clouds. Okay, if I move to the left, all the sort of magenta orange there is going to become more red here, and there it's going to become more white, more yellow. All right. And so basically you are completely altering the colors. Now you can either guess what your colors are, like I tried to do, like, oh, where is my orange? Or you can take this tool, which this is how I do it. And you click, for example, on the clouds. And if I go up, it's going to alter, it's going to make them to go to the right. So basically all your red and orange is going to become like more, the red is going to become more orange. Your orange is going to become more yellow. And if you go down, they all become more red, okay? And that's a good way to do it. Like I like to click here and go up, for example. Okay, that's gonna make my sort of yellow go more green. I don't want that, I wanna go the opposite. I wanna make them more yellow. Let's click here again on the clouds. And I kind of eyeball it. I like, maybe it's a little too red. Let's add a bit of yellow or an orange. So you're basically altering the colors. So let's see the blue here. Let's see if there's any blue. Yes, look at the sky. So this one is, you have to be very careful, because if you start changing the sky, like you go something like this, you are living planet Earth and you are on your way to Saturn. This is exactly how the sky is on Saturn. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I've never been to Saturn. But so you have to be very careful with the blue. I can tell right off if the blue doesn't look natural, your mind will figure it out, or like, oh, this is too much retouched. So one tip on using any of these sliders is try not to go over 30. You see the value here, plus 19, minus 2, minus 14. Check this out. If I take this tool here and I click here on the sky, and you see I'm at minus 52. That's way too much and it looks really unnatural. If I bring it under 30, it still doesn't look so much natural, but it's closer to that. On this one, I will not even use it. But just as a good rule of thumb, when you start going over 30 on any of these values, you are going to another planet. So basically, what I do is I just take this tool and I what is there and there's the blue here, there's the red there. There's basically only two colors in this photo. So I'll just play around with these two colors, click and drag up and down, see what I like the most, just a little bit, and that's it, okay? And if you want to see what you did before and after just with that panel, you can click here, you see, and you'll see the before just of the hue that we've done so far and the after. Hardly any change, okay? Anyway, this has to be very subtle. Now, saturation is different. We are not altering the colors. We are making it more vivid or less vivid. So let's say I wanted to make the whole city black and white except the sky. I could go like this. I could make the magenta, not the magenta, because there's a lot of magenta, but I can make the sky, desaturate the sky, desaturate the aqua, and maybe the greens, for example. And now everything is sort of black and white except the sky. It's a crazy idea, but usually what I do on saturation, it's basically same thing. You can take this tool and you can click, and let's say I want to make the sky more blue. I can click and drag, make it more blue, or it's going to make more, it's going to detect that it's blue, or I can make it less blue to make it more natural, or I can click and drag on the clouds to make them more red or less red. So we're not changing the kind of red, we are just adapting. And you can see, or you can move individually each colors, but I love to use this tool and I really advise you to do that. So I'm like, okay, I want to make maybe this pop a little more, maybe the sky pop a little more. Okay, so I added saturation basically on the red and on the blue. Big deal, that's what the photo needed, kind of thing. Next one is luminance. So it took me a while to figure this out. So a color can be more vivid or less vivid, but a color can be brighter or darker. Let me show you on the sky. So I take this tool and I go on the sky. If I go down, I'm making my sky darker. In the same time, it's making it more vivid, because that's the trick with colors, is when they get darker, they get more saturated. But if you go overboard, like minus 78, and I zoom in by pressing the spacebar, look at all the, what we call artifacts. It looks weird. It looks like small squares. That's because you went too far. You got to be very gentle on this one, like maybe minus 20 at most. Okay. So that's, for example, is a good way to make the sky more blue. It's a different animal. It's making the color darker. But yes, when you make a color darker, it also adds a bit of saturation. By the way, I think I went a little too much saturation on my cloud, so I'm gonna go back. Sorry, I'm gonna desaturate the clouds a little bit. I mean, they were very saturated at night, but yeah, I still want this to be a good retouching. And my sky, so on my sky, I can go up to make it a bit brighter. Yeah, I think that's more cool. So basically that's that. You know, you can, the other way you can go about it is you just play around with the luminance. You know, that's gonna make your reds become brighter. Look at this, like they become bright, very bright or very dark. So again, you have to be very gentle with these sliders. So I can make them a little darker by making the reds a bit darker. It's going to make it more dense and more colorful. So that is the hue, the saturation, and the luminance. My advice to you is just use this tool on each of the panels and just play around where there is colors, move up and down, see what you like, go subtle, make sure you don't have any value that goes over 30, and you should be good to go, and you should improve slightly your photo.